Well, I hope you all have read the question before you listen to my answer, because it's a very long question, but what it boils down to is simply this. A listing agent at an open house meets a potential buyer, and he ultimately has convinced the buyer to purchase the house. At the very last minute, the buyer says, "Oh, I didn't tell you I have a friend or a friend of a friend who's an agent, and I don't want this to work as a dual agency situation. I would rather work with the other person." Well, now, where's the procuring cause here? Who is the procuring cause? Well, based on the facts that I see in the letter, I'd say that you have somewhat of an argument. However, you've now said you're going to arbitration, that the other party wants to arbitrate. By the way, I think it was right to leave the money in escrow with whoever, closing agent or whatever, so that the money will be available to whoever wins in an arbitration. And understand that in arbitration, the winner takes all. Now, there's going to be a hearing panel of 3 people, and they're going to hear your testimony, and they're going to hear the testimony of the other person, and they may bring in that buyer as a witness. So you don't have an open and shut case, because the hearing panel is going to listen and then make a decision based on the preponderance of evidence here. Now, there's another alternative available to you, and that's known as mediation. And in mediation, that's when both parties negotiate together with the help of a mediator and decide whether to split it, whether one takes it all, whatever. But the outcome is determined by the parties. That would be you and the other broker. Now, you've already been willing at some previous point to negotiate and mediate. In fact, when you had done that with apparently the person who turns out not to be the broker, you were willing to mediate at that point, because that's exactly what you did. So my suggestion would be, number one, try and mediate. Have the 2 brokers mediate the dispute over that commission. Remember, the 2 of you then will determine the outcome. If you can't come to an agreement, then you're going to go to arbitration. There's going to be a hearing panel of 3 of your peers. They're going to listen to all of the evidence. They're going to look at those emails that you mentioned you have, the trail of contacts, etc. They're going to listen to the other person, the other broker or agent. They're going to perhaps listen to the buyer. And ultimately, they're going to make a decision. So you could win it all or you could lose it all. I can't tell you which way it's going to go, because I'm not on the hearing panel, but I've seen them go both ways, just depending on the preponderance of evidence as the hearing panel determines that evidence. So try and mediate this. Try and work it out between the 2 brokers. You'll all get your money faster, and it will be a win-win situation for everybody.